In this video, we're talking about how to close the leads that you get from your Facebook ads on phone calls. This is not going to be Facebook ads information because you guys know I'm the Facebook ads guy, but did you know that I'm also a very experienced salesman? And that is also very necessary because it's one thing to get a bunch of leads from your Facebook ads, but it's a whole other deal to be able to close them. So the good thing is I'm going to be talking today from a expert level experience on both sales and Facebook ads to give you the best video on the internet. Congratulations. The gods are working in your favor for showing you this video, my friends. Get ready to take some notes. You will want to grab some notes. This is going to be a very structured process. And no matter what industry you're in, if you follow what I'm about to teach you on your sales calls, you will see immediate results. I can promise you. All right. By the end of this, you don't even need to do a phone call to know, like, I'm going to be pretty damn good on my phone calls now, because as long as you have a structure, you're going to have a repeatable process. You're going to have no pressure sales calls. You're not going to even get objections. All right. You don't even have to learn how to handle objections if you follow what I'm going to show you. So let's get right into it. This is for all service-based businesses, coaching businesses, anyone that is booking a call to go over the details of your program. And even if it's under the premise of a free coaching call or something like that, it is still going to result in sales. So step 0 that all of you need to follow, and this is very important. I'm going to say it so clearly because I myself sometimes skip over the step because it's very easy to. It's very easy to just get into a conversation with the person that you're talking to. And this is why I actually don't recommend you say, oh, where are you from? Because when you say, where are you from? They say, I'm from here. And you say, oh, cool, I've never been there before. What's the weather like? Oh, it's like this. Where are you from? I'm from here. The weather's like this. Okay, anyways, let's get into the sales call. It's not necessary. If you used to live where they live, sure, you can mention it. If there's something you truly want to tell them about where they live or their business or anything like that that you know about them, only because you want to should you do it, not because it's like a forced rapport time. Step 0 is making sure you have all of the decision makers on the call. And whether you have an application form, which we will talk about should you have an application or not later, you are going to want to make sure you have all the decision makers on the call. Part of it is because, hey, you got to have all the decision makers on there to make a decision. The main reason, though, is because when people say they need to talk to their spouse or their business partner, this is usually a smokescreen objection. This is not a real objection. So we need them to get to admit that now, because it's actually a pretty hard one to handle. If you get the objection, hey, I got to talk to my wife or I got to talk to my business partner, that doesn't mean, man, what should I say? I got to think about what I need to say when someone says that again. It means that you need to handle that in advance. And that goes with every objection. Every objection that you get could have been handled in advance and should have been handled in advance. So make sure you're interpreting that. Whenever you get objections on your sales appointments, you don't say, oh, dang, what do I say next time? You do want to have the right thing to say or the best thing that you can say, but more so, how could I have prevented them from ever saying that objection in advance is really how to solve your problem here. So you're going to make sure they have all the decision makers. So let's say you're selling to a business owner. Hey, do you have any business partners, by the way, or anyone else that helps you with this? Oh, you do? Yeah, your wife helps you sometime. Awesome. Yeah, is she available? Let's get her on the call too, just in case she has any questions. Oh, that's fine. No, she doesn't really care about this stuff. This is more my department. Oh, okay, cool. So like investing in marketing in your company, that would all be on you? Yeah, that's all on me. Okay, great, perfect. That is how the conversation will go a lot of times. And what's funny is that same guy right there would still, if I didn't bring that up and handle that, he was going to give me that objection still. He was going to say, oh, I got to talk to my wife. But now that I got it out of the way, hey, that's actually not true. You don't have to. He can't give me that objection. Or if he does, I say, oh, well, that's why I wanted to get your wife on the call. You told me that you didn't need her to make this decision. Oh, okay, you don't. Yeah, okay, got it. Well, what is it then? Is it a little too expensive, right? You can go into handling the actual objection, because otherwise it's just one of those weird objections. It's like calling into work sick for personal reasons. It's hard for the person, for like the business to really be like, okay, what are those personal reasons? Like that, you just got to take it as a legitimate excuse. So that's why this objection is very important to handle. So it could be a business partner, it could be a decision maker. Maybe you're just selling a random coaching program, right? That doesn't have to do with the business owner. You could still say, hey, is there anyone important to you that knows you're on the call today? Yeah, well, I told my best friend about this. Oh, nice. Awesome. So is your best friend like interested in this kind of stuff? Like, would it be valuable if you would be on this call? I don't think you're going to run into best friend. I got to talk to my best friend. I don't know what I'm going with that one, but it's still like, have this conversation, get it out of the way, because if you get this objection, you just should have prevented it earlier. And that I still make this mistake a lot. So don't beat yourself up too much when you do, but step 0, don't miss it, guys. Step number 1 is a personal introduction to the call. And this is single-handedly the biggest thing that you can do to have such better sales calls. And the reason why is because it feels like the sales call doesn't start if you do this. You kind of just slowly get into it. Oh, where are you from? Chicago? Okay, cool. Well, yeah. So yeah, on the call, why'd you book the call? Like, it's not a good process, right? So here's what a personal intro sounds like for me, who sells business coaching. I would say, okay, cool. So on this call, I'm just going to ask you some questions to figure out exactly where you're at and how I can help you out the best. Once I know enough, I'll give you like a customized marketing plan. If you could use my continued help at the end of this call, then I will let you know what that looks like. Otherwise, we'll make this as productive as possible. And then they say, okay, sounds great. So what is the psychology there? Because you can say this in a number of different ways, but the things that absolutely have to be said is, 1, I'm going to ask you some questions. On this call, I'm going to ask you some questions to figure out where you're at. That is necessary because otherwise they will just start spilling their life story. And it is okay if they spill their life story if I have first denoted that I am the question master, I am in charge of this appointment, I control the flow, and I will be asking you the questions. All right, it's not even like coming across in a way like I'm in charge, okay? It's not coming across like that, but otherwise the customer can run this appointment off the rails, and that's how you have these hour 15-minute appointments that they don't even buy anything, okay? The second thing is that you let them know at the end of this call, if you want to keep working with me, I'll let you know what that would look like. Otherwise, we'll make this as productive as possible, or otherwise this will be a great call either way. You are saying, hey, at the end of this call, I will try to sell you something. I will tell you about my pricing. And if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. And the reason why we have to say this now is because if you said this like at the close, right? It's $3,800 a month, and if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. You're just going to get a no sale, right? Like, but you can say this no pressure verbiage early. And now they say, all right, he's going to let me know. He has other things to sell me. That's great. There's no tricks here. The cat's out of the bag. I know he's going to tell me about pricing at the end of this call. That also prevents them from saying, all right, awesome. Shoot me an email with your pricing. I would love to know what it takes to work with you. And you're like, yeah, I'll just tell you right now. If you tell them, I will be telling you pricing at the end of this call, they don't try to do this like, all right, cool, shoot me an email or I'll let you know. And you know, if we want to go forward with anything, and you haven't even told them what the offer is. And then also you said it's no problem if they don't want to buy. So now their walls are down. Okay. Those are really the only two things that need to be said in that personal intro in order for it to work. If you need help crafting your own, book a call with me or leave a comment on this video and I'll help you come up with one. So that's step 0, then step 1. Step 2 is you're going to figure out why they're on this call. All right. For me in marketing, I'd say, okay, cool. So where are you at with your Facebook ads right now? Because I sell Facebook ads coaching, right? So I could just say, where are you at with your Facebook ads right now? If you are selling life coaching, you'd be like, yeah, so like, yeah, what's going on right now? Tell me where you're at. Just literally something simple like that. It's usually a very open-ended question, but you don't want to just say, all right, cool, give me the rundown. I used to say, give me the rundown on your business. And I realized that did not get me the answer I wanted. So another quick lesson I'll give you is everything your customer says, you made them say. So if they're going off on this story that you feel like this is going off the rails, this is not conducive to the sale, that's your fault. which is great, right? Now you can fix that. Now you can say, all right, well, I got to stop asking that question that way because that specific wording is not getting me the response I want. So I stopped saying, give me the basic rundown on your business. And I said, tell me where you're at with Facebook ads, because that gets them to admit that they need my help. And that is essentially what these questions are going to be designed for. You are trying to get them to admit that they don't know what they're doing and that they need your help, which is always the case, or they would not have booked the call. So you're not trying to trick them into this by any means. Okay, I want to be clear about that, because if you ask questions that sound like they're a trap, it doesn't work well, and it's also not necessary because you already know that they need you. Be like, where are you at with Facebook ads? Got it. So you've been trying to spend the money. It's not really getting you the profitability that you want. Okay, got it. What have you tried? Oh, you've done ads like this. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Have you hired an agency? You did, and they didn't do a very good job. Okay. And you feel like your ads were better. You just need a little guidance. Okay, perfect. That's, just to give you an example of how my sales call might sound, of how am I questioning where it leads us to. Okay, you just need a little bit of help, and then you should be good to go. Awesome. Then the next question is the step 3. Would you like to know how I can help you? And I'm giving you this macroscopic structure, guys. It's going to be like a 5-step process probably in the end. I wish I would have figured that out beforehand. We'll see how many steps it ends up being. Like step 0 kind of throws it off though, right? But you're going to ask where they're at, and then you're going to dig and dig and dig and dig until you find out all of their problems, why they can't solve these problems on their own, and why their life would be so much better if they could solve these problems. So I might also ask, before I get to the close a lot of times, sorry, I'm going back on the step. So I'll go back to the step of, would you like to know how I can help you? That's the next step. I'm going back for a second here, is I might say, just to, take a step back from everything, I know you want to run Facebook ads profitably, but can I ask, are you working another job right now? Are you trying to become a full-time entrepreneur? Because what I found is the common desire for all of these business owners I'm selling to is that ultimately they're just trying to make enough money where they can be a full-time business owner. So I want to tie in my program into that main life goal. I just worked with a breath coach this morning. He sells a breath coaching program. So for him, it's very valuable to figure out, what are you really trying to achieve in life right now? You're trying to get rid of your anxiety. Why are you trying to get rid of your anxiety? Because you aren't very good with talking to women because you're so anxious all the time? Okay, got it. Well, if we could solve your anxiety, then we should be able to get you a girlfriend, right? You're not going to say that, but essentially you want to find what is the root of their motivation? Because in this case, they're not I just really want to know how to breathe right. It's what that does for them, right? Even with business coaching, money. Yes, they want money. That's great. It's not that far removed. I don't need to dig as much with business coaching because it's just hey, you need money. We all know that. Cool. This is going to make you money, right? But it also is still valuable for me to figure out that this person who's working a 9 to 5 and working this business on the weekends and weeknights, ultimately they would love to quit their job. And I might say, okay, perfect. So with this program, we're going to learn how to get you sales quickly. This is not going to be something where I'm going to say, burn a bunch of money for a few months. This is not going to be telling you to post on Instagram every day for a year and hopefully it works out. We're going to get you sales right away. So if you're trying to move your income levels to 5, 10K plus per month and do that within the next few months, this is going to give you an honest chance at doing that. If I say that, how much more on board are they with yes, we need to do this program because I'm trying to solve the bigger picture. I'm not just trying to teach them Facebook ads. I'm trying to solve for the bigger picture of their life. So that is that question section. Okay, so to recap, step 0, let's just call it step 1. Sorry guys, I like it step 0 just because it's just it's really before anything starts. All right, I'm sticking with it. Step 0, make sure you have all the decision makers on the call, mostly for the sake of them admitting that they don't need anyone else to make the decision. Step 1 is that personal intro. Step 2 is ask where they're currently at. And this step 2 is expanded into so many different questions. This is a 10 to 20 minutes. is this step 2. It just is going to start with you asking like where they're at and what problems they're running into. Then you're going to keep digging until you find out their core motivation. I'm going to do that. Step 3 is figuring out their core motivation. Step 2, figure out exactly where they're at. Step 3, figure out their core motivation. Step 4, ask them the question, would you like to know how I can help you with this? And if asking that question doesn't make sense, then you're not done with step 2 and 3 yet. All right, they should bring you to the point where you can say, okay, perfect. Would you like to know how I can help you with that? And this is just a simple permission-based question. This is called permission selling. It is the most basic yet advanced tip there is. Permission selling. Don't just start talking about your program all of a sudden, because it's just like, wait, this was like a coaching call and now it's a sales call. You need to ask for permission to switch. You just say, would you like to know I can help you with this? To which you will always get the answer yes. 100% of the time they will say yes. And then this next step, step 5, is customize your offer to their problems. So you're still going to basically say the same thing to everyone. So for me, I'm just going to do my pitch here. I'll say, so I've been doing Facebook ads services for 6 years now, but I've been selling it the same way for almost 4 years now because I figured out the exact amount of support someone needs in order to run profitable Facebook ads for themselves. So what it is we do 4 calls per month and you get unlimited messaging on weekdays in between our calls. And we are going to do your calls on Zoom. We're going to set up your ads together. We're going to press publish together. We're going to go over all of your analytics together. And I'm going to teach you how to do this yourself so that you don't need me. The goal is that you don't need me as soon as possible. Some people stay for 5, like someone's even stayed for 10 months before, but a lot of people even just do 1 month, get as much value as they can, and then go off and run profitable Facebook ads for themselves. Does that sound like what you're looking for? That is the next step. So I just did my pitch there, and then that is like, I might customize it a little bit to what they told me. I'm trying to quit my job, whatever it might be. I'm going to maybe throw that into the customization of the custom offer pitch. Do you mind if I let you know how I can help you with this? Yes, custom pitch. Then at the end, you're going to ask, does that sound like what you're looking for? Why do we say that then? Notice I have not said the price yet. How a lot of you are doing this is you say, here's everything my program comes with and here's the price. How does that sound? And now what you're leaving it open for is when they say, I need to think about it, you don't know what they need to think about because you're like, I don't know if it's the problem with the program. I don't know if it's the problem with the price. I don't know if it's both. I don't know. By separating this, program. What do you think of the program? What do you think of the program? I'm not even going to talk about the price yet. What do you think about the program? You love the program? It's exactly what you're looking for? Awesome. Moving on. Here's the price. Now, if they would object to the price, I would know that it's about the price. Or if they say, I need to think about it, I would know that it's about the price. Otherwise, if you give them the program details and the price at the same time and then ask a question, they can give you a smokescreen objection that you don't know how to handle exactly. So once they say, yes, that is exactly what I'm looking for, perfect. You have sold them on your exact program. It is exactly what they're looking for. The only thing left is, can they afford it? It's all that remains. So then you say, okay, awesome. And you're just going to sit there. All right. So here's the last thing. You're going to wait until they ask for the price before you say it. And this is also a key to completely low pressure appointments. The customer will never feel any pressure. If you don't say the price until they ask you for it, there can't be possibly any pressure. So you're going to say, is that what you're looking for? And they say, yes, it's exactly what I'm looking for. You're just going to sit there in silence, or you can say perfect. And that's all you're going to say. You're not going to move on to the price yet because they will either say, yes, that's what I'm looking for. How much is it? Perfect. Just go ahead and say the price. Or they say, yes, that's what I'm looking for. You say, great. And then you sit there in silence for a little bit. And then you say, do you have any other questions about getting started? Or do you have any other questions about how this works? Because if they haven't asked you for the price yet, there is maybe still some confusion on the table. So I want every objection handled before I get to the price, because then I'm only dealing with price objections. I'm going to handle every other objection first outside of price. Okay, I hope this is just a light bulb moment for you guys of like just the craziest sales like way to organize this that just makes your life so easy. All right, they might say, oh, well, how about this? How does this work? Or do you have any testimonials? Stuff like that. If someone asks you for testimonials at that point, it's not a good sign, by the way. It means that they don't fully trust you. So depending on how these calls are coming in, whether they're from YouTube or Facebook ads or whatever, it means that you probably need some more like testimonials to be shown to them before they get on the call, right? Just like I said, every objection you get just means that's something that should have been handled before. So if they say, do you have any testimonials? That means yes, here they are, but make sure that's handled in advance next time. But most of the time they'll say, well, yeah, I guess just how much is it? Okay, now here's how to do the price. You're going to say the retail price of your offer, and do not say this BS, like artificially inflated price on your coaching offers. One, people don't believe it anymore. Two, this is what the FTC cracks down on, is these artificially inflated pricing stacks, as they are called. Like Russell Brunson coined like the term the stack, right? And I'd say like, oh yeah, what you're gonna get 4 coaching calls. Those have a value of $500 each. You're gonna get a Facebook group, which has a value of $1,000. You're gonna get this worksheet and this worksheet and this worksheet, which all of those are worth $300 each. You know, like you're gonna get unlimited messaging, which is worth $3,000. But all of it together, you're gonna get it for $997, right? Like, don't do that. What you're gonna say, I'm just gonna give you my pitch, all right? I just had to raise my prices, but here we go. I'm letting you know of my just barely raised prices, and they're not going down. So if you want to get in my coaching program, the earlier the better. I would say this. So the price of the coaching program is $950, and what you get is those 4 calls. So we're gonna do everything together, and you're gonna get 30 days of unlimited messaging. And if you need me for more months, great. Otherwise, you know, we're going to get a lot done in the first month. We're going to run your first campaign together. Now, the cool thing is I'm really just looking for people who are ready to get started. If you're going to show up to the calls and you're going to, you know, put in the work, I know this is going to go great for you. And your success story is how I keep my business going. So if you are cool just signing up on the call today, it's only $850 a month. And then you get grandfathered into that price. So even in the future, like whenever you need more, you always get that same $850. And that's what I say. It's not this crazy discount, right? I don't need to be like, it's normally $1,500. If you get it on the call, it's $850. That creates a little bit too much pressure. They feel a little too backed into the corner, and it's also just kind of BS, all right? Now, I want to be very clear here. I do this because it is very necessary. I wish it wasn't, and there is a certain point where you have so much demand and you have so many phone calls that you can just say, yeah, it's $850. You don't want to do it? All right, no problem. Bye. I got the next call starting right now. There is a point that you have so many sales calls that you don't have to do that. But the reality is a lot of people know they want to do it, can afford it, are ready to go, have literally no objections at all. But if you don't give them some kind of incentive to sign up right then and there, they will always say, okay, let me think about it. And when you have people that think about it, you're always just going to lose some people, okay? And the other thing that happens is if you don't give them the incentive to buy right now, you don't give them the incentive to give you all of their objections right now, okay? I'm gonna say that again. If you don't give them incentive to buy right now, you don't give them incentive to give you all of their objections right now. So some of those people might say, okay, cool, I gotta think about it. And they have no problem with the price, but they were curious if your method really would work, right? They have objections like that. And if you did give them this example of like, if you buy later, it's $950. If you buy now, it's $850. Those objections will come out because they will know how important it is to make the decision right then. Now, I am relaxed about this, and I'm stupid for telling you guys this, but I don't care. I want you guys to do this properly, and if you book a call with me after this YouTube, I'm still gonna pitch it to you the same way. If the customer says, you know, I really just don't make decisions on the spot, this sounds great, you know, I'll probably do it, but I just wanna, you know, take a walk and think about it. I know that objection can't be overcome. So I don't say, all right, well, it's 8:50. Well, it's 9:50 later. I don't say that. I think it's rude, and I think it's what all of my competitors do. Thus, I don't like to do it. So I like to say, you know what, that is totally fine. I don't want you to make a rush decision. This sounds exactly like what you're looking for. I'm going to send you a link right now that's got that discount on it. Do you think you'd be able to let me know like by tonight? You can say that. You can say like by tomorrow. Or the other thing that you can do, which is sometimes even better, is you say, oh yeah, no problem. Let's talk in like, do you think tomorrow, same time would be a good time to follow up? And I pretty much always do that. I don't try to be like, okay, what time are you available tomorrow? I just say, do you think tomorrow, same time would be good? Because like, it's very likely that the same time would be good, right? So I'm just trying to make this like super freaking easy. Yeah, call me tomorrow, same time. Okay, you got it. I'm gonna change that appointment to the next day. But it is important to know that some of those people, they say, I just want a little bit of time to think about it. Sometimes it's legit. Sometimes it's a way for them to tell you to avoid telling you that they can't afford it. So I always say this too. Yeah, hey, nope, I don't want you to feel rushed. If you need a little bit of time, that's okay. Can I just ask, is the $850, like if you do want to do it, is that like a good price? Like, can you afford that right now? Or would you potentially need some like payment options? And if they say, oh, well, do you have payment options? I'll say, yeah, like you can split it up over two months, like $425. I won't even charge you any interest. That's something I do too. A lot of people are like, you know, when they go to payment plans, there's all of a sudden interest on it. I don't do that because everyone else does it. So it allows me the opportunity to be the good guy by not doing it. Okay. This is why don't listen to other people. Only listen to me, guys. But yeah, I say it's $425. It doesn't even cost you any extra. I just want this to be an easy decision. I don't want them to be like, well, shit, I'll save $50 if I do the full thing. I'll let you know. Nope. A decision right now. I'm trying to make the decision just blatantly obvious is what I'm trying to do. I want the decision right now, so I'm gonna make it blatantly obvious. Oh yeah, it's like, well, yeah, if you just want to do $425 now and $425 in a month, that is totally fine. I don't charge any interest because, you know, I want to get you results, and I don't care about making a little bit extra money just because you want to, you know, do what's financially right for you. Okay, right? They're like, yeah, I love this guy. So yeah, like that's what I would do. Just make sure if they say, I still got to think about it, make sure that it's not a price thing. So you can say, is the $850, like, are you comfortable affording that right now? Or is there any issue with the price? And sometimes they'll say, oh no, it's not about the price. It's not about the price. Like, I just got to think about it. And you say, yeah, no problem. Like, I'll call you tomorrow, same time. Would that be good for you? All right, perfect. So I'll call you tomorrow. And I just leave it right there. And then I change that appointment to the next day. And then I call him then. I'm going to give you one other bonus before we leave, but just know that I could go on for another hour with these tips, guys. That's why you might want to consider getting in my coaching program. It's pretty much always a very positive ROI for people. Book a free call with me below to start. But here's the bonus tip, is that you say, if they say, I want to do this next Friday, like I'll have the money on Friday. So like I'll get started then. You say, oh yeah, perfect. Okay, I'll have the charge come out on Friday. What card do you want to use? And then what will happen is they'll give you the card number if they were truly certain about that. Like if that's real, if what you just told me is the truth, then I don't need you to call me back. I don't need to call you back. We don't need to play phone tag. Just give me the card now and I'll ring it in on Friday, right? Makes sense. But what happens a lot of times is they say, oh, well, yeah, I'm still like debating. And you're like, oh yeah, cool, gotcha, right? So two things are gonna happen. You're either gonna get the card, and then now you're just gonna ring that order in on Friday. Perfect, guys. You don't have to be thinking about, man, I hope that order goes through. You get the card. If they ever try to say, I'm going to buy at a later date, you say, that's no problem. Okay, so which day? Have it come out this Friday. All right, perfect. What card do you want to use for that? And you're just asking like, this is totally normal. Yeah, that's totally fine. We'll have it come out on Friday. What card do you want to use? And then if you get the card, great. If not, the real objections will come out. So don't let people tell you, I want to buy later without you saying, okay, perfect. Give me the card and I'll ring it in later. So hopefully like that one. So much more sales tips to go. Drop some comments if this was helpful. Check out all the other Facebook ads tutorials, and above all, claim your free call below. Even if you're not ready to invest, I want to talk to you now because obviously you came to this video for a reason. You're trying to learn now. Let's grow together, and I will talk to you soon.